How's it going, guys? And welcome back to more one video. Today I'm here back with more one talking longer video, and today I'm using the natural light, but also I'm trying to keep this really more British than before, because in the last episode the video was low, really it was, but I don't have how to charge it. But in this episode I'm going to try to continue the quality who are right now, but also I'm going to try to fix it. Of course, I know that the best quality is the natural quality, but I also don't have how to keep it so infinitely and every time do that. But as I can, I'm going to try to keep this quality and this natural light as well. In this video, I'm going to talk about some things then about I wanted to try to do in the last episode, but I think they don't know many people's going to see, because that was too much blue than before. And here I'm going to talk about 30 minutes or something like that. Well, today is the first day of my vacation, because until today I was at school, and okay, now I'm going on vacation. And this vacation I'm going to try to keep focused on studying English and things like that, because I talked to them. I'm gonna try to use this and the vacation of the end of the year entirely to upgrade myself language, for example, in my English. And this occasion I'm going to try to finish off my book, and so for this reason probably I'm going to spend more time there than I spend with the internet, or also even doing videos or something like that. Only thing then I can charge it consequently is charging the scenario, because sometimes like now I know then the natural light is the better light as I can, but also this chroma key is a little bit more away from the natural light, because over there's a window there, and this camera sometimes charges the recorder by each time I'm in. For example, here I'm inside my home, so for this reason the camera try to keep continuing using the no natural light, but the light of LED who are over there, but also this other light who is using right now. For example, now it's normal, now it's blue. This is one thing that normally happen, but I don't have how to fix it. In the last episode, every video was really blue and things like that, but I don't have how to fix it. I really try, but I do what I can do. But continue what exactly I want to try to tell this is my channel. I'm going to try to do main videos, because I talked then how much changes I have. I'm gonna have more public, and as much public as more people are gonna subscribe there, and also consequently this is gonna be a thing to my channel grow up eventually. And with these things of eventually things then happen, this can be more useful on my channel. And I try to charge this color to become normal again. For example, now it's normal, but consequently after sometimes this becomes blue, and I don't have how to fix it as well. And my channel, usually I'm going to continue at this quality. Sometimes some videos than I did before. For example, that video now it's blue, but that video then I did, I think then, yes, it was the last video that I did, was entirely video was blue. That was a bug that happened with the camera. I think then the time when I edited everything was okay, but wasn't, and that must keep like that. And but also I think then as much as do more different videos is a thing then I can charge with the future, and consequently this can improve my quality of myself videos. And yeah, there's a thing that I'm trying to do, but I don't know how can perfect this can become. But that's one thing that I can try to do, and keep me growing with the future and things like that. Also I have maybe I can use some Windows something to be a natural light to improve the quality of myself videos, but also sometimes I don't have really space to do it, because the only part of my classroom, I'm this room who has chroma key is that, and the only thing that is near it is that Windows who is near that. but also the chroma key stay in the other way of the room. And also I don't have how to move it because I don't have any space to put that on the near of the windows. So probably the quality must continue like that, but also I'm thinking to do more different videos on my channel. I mean, don't be restricted only to talking long videos like that. But eventually I can do other things of videos, but for now probably this is gonna be continuing like that. And I know that sometimes it's bad to watch something then the quality isn't so excellent, but let's agree that yeah. Sometimes some people even watch it, for example, for the first 13 seconds of my channel, and after it, boom, they gone away because they see that video and think, for example, whoa, I don't have patience to watch this quality. But the main objective of my channel isn't so quality. Constantly is a quality in some parts, but also the more specific part is to videos be different, be outgoing a bit, create a new content and share it with everyone, and consequently, yeah, improve it more and more, yeah. I don't have a microphone or something near that, and the camera is really like too much to turn into blue, or but consequently is the only thing that happened. I don't have how to fix it as well. And I think then every time that I do a video I start to fix it in English, and yeah, it go away and work. And yeah, yesterday when I came to the administration course, I was rest a little bit, and after it I watched my channel when that one video was published. This take about 2 or 3 hours to be published, or 4 hours to be published to the internet. That videos didn't have about 30 minutes, so of course it would take a long time, but yeah, it's what we had at that time. And probably I try to do with more quality videos, and also the audio. I try to improve as much as I can for this reason. And when I'm doing a video, try to be as near as camera as I can, because the audio, I think, is one thing that really matter on the channel. Is the audio, the voice, and the sound effects. And of course, every time that I do a video like that, I try to be more specific and more clearly. I told you this before, but more clearly as I can. And yeah, and now when I'm on vacation, I have more time to try to be focused on other things, for example in English, and that was a thing as I can do when I'm studying, but also at the same time it became more hard to do when I'm doing other things. For example, when I'm studying, for example, administration course, there it's more hard to have time to study English or something like that, because main focus is do that test and passing that test. And of course eventually when I don't have to care about that, I have more time to care about the first language with the English. And consequently I can do more time spent with other things than isn't my main objective. Well, currently my main objective for now is the English, because now I'm in vacation. Now I have main times to study it, but also when I'm studying, my main focus still is in English, but I must care about some school and some projects that I had. And now and then I'm on vacation, I can spend more and more time for myself. Of course, I'm gonna try to rest a little bit, because that's a great end. No one deserves to work an entire year without any rest. Or if you are doing great work, or if you have a great work, for example a pilot or whatever you are doing, then you like to do, yeah, sometimes it's bad, you take vacation, but yes, that's something that we must do, and must take care of it, and must work hard. And consequently, we must in the school we must sometimes become worried about, because I have some scenarios, some presentations, some things. Then we usually spend time, and of course we must become worried about it. And also at the same time, then we do some videos. I think then this is a great thing that I do, because it isn't so exactly a job. Of course, the YouTube can be a job. So for So some reasons many people spend more and more a lot of time is with the YouTube, and so this can be considered a job. But in my case, no, because here I'm doing videos only by fun of myself. Because here I do videos to improve myself in English and to try to be more useful, more have a more progress in myself in English. And for this reason, the English of my case isn't so exactly work or something near that. Currently, have patience to go in here, sit in this chair, talk about 30 minutes, half an hour. I must train something because before I must have a great breakfast or something to become with the capacity to talk about all this time, because that's a great end after about 15 or 20 minutes we are becoming really tired to do something. Yes, I must agree. And in my channel probably I can do other things of it, for example draw, even I think about something culinary or whatever, things creative to improve something here, about improving something to yourself, or even creating things to be creative. Yes. In my channel I'm going to try to be more creative as I can, and this for reason of work hard. And yeah, currently I consider myself a creative person because me, I work hard with the studies and I spend main time to learning new things. So I thought that this is sufficient to say I'm creative. Yes, I'm creative because I work hard. Do some things hard. For example, I'd like to spend a lot of time drawing, and this is a consequence about one thing that I usually do main times. And I'd like so much to use this creativity to many things. For example, I prefer some games, and I can also use my creativity to construct something or building something or other things. Because I thought that in some games, then I use myself creativity. I can be more free. I can explore more. I have more patience to play one game. Then I use it more than I usually only go a history and finish it and never well. I prefer to use my own creativity with it. Because I thought to them the creativity is something then you don't exactly burn with it. But when you're born you have the capacity to go ahead and try to create something. When we are kids we do spend main times with drawing and things like that. But this is one thing then eventually can be more great by yourself when you work hard about something. And even this can be a thing that can happen eventually. You work hard and something happens like that. And for example, today we have many people who draw really well because they spend some time with it. So it's really normally then they have some capacity to draw better because they spend more and a lot of time with it. And this is one thing that exactly happens. So, but yeah, this is a great thing. Also, something that can happen when we have time to do it. And eventually, if you spend your main time with something like draw, you're gonna improve the draw. For example, this happened in math, in whatever subjects when we had or spend time with it. More yearly or more later, we can improve ourselves with it, and if we draw main times, probably our stuff is going to improve our drawing and these kinds of skills. A good example of this is when we were, or when we are kids, for example, 3 or 4 years old. If you are normal, probably when you were a kid, you probably draw something nearly bad, or it's hard to you draw something really realistic when you are a kid because you don't have some techniques and some that kind of look to these things and try to repeat this on the paper. But also the same time, when you are getting more older or something near that, you can be able to spend more time with it, and you can improve more and even more yourself with your self creativity, because there you can spend time and can create it, and you have another kind of look to that same thing. And when you have this other thing to look, You see the difference between before and after. Currently, I had some school subjects, then I draw, and let's agree, wasn't the best draw that I ever did. But yeah, but sometimes when we write too much, we got tired, and probably the draws isn't so that thing that we call excellent. But at the same time, as we can usually do that videos, um, it can be compared to many things. For example, when we usually do the first things, we usually do really creative and something. But when we must do this again, it's becoming a little bit boring. This kinds of stay. Let's suppose then we must do a stay, and there we make kinds of some say before to with a pencil with many mistakes, and that's it. So there, let's suppose then we do a great essay. But when you're gonna use the pen to do this, let's agree then our later don't become so excellent than before, and probably you can do more mistakes and things like that. And let's agree then this one thing then happen, we don't have how to fix it as well. And these things is consequently happening, but what exactly we are doing this happens, so we don't have some chance to charge it or something near that. But eventually, this can be compared with a video game. Yes, let's suppose a video game who care about precision, accuracy to be more specific, accuracy, speed, and that thing. Then you can must look fast, think fast. If you are a kid or something like that, probably you have more difficult to play that. For example, when you have about 6 or 7 years old, you probably have some difficult to do. But when you play many times, you get more fast with the time, and also you can do that thing then also you didn't be able to do before. Now you can go ahead and do that with any problems. So these are things really comparison by accident, because there's one thing more experience than we can also do by ourselves. Yeah. The same thing happens with the language. If we can spend a lot of time with a language, for example English or whatever language when they are studying, in my case it is English, firstly in the beginning we probably do many mistakes and say things then doesn't make any sense. But with the time we keep practicing, we're gonna become more hopefully we're gonna improve ourselves, and everything with this can become better and better. And this one thing that happens, so this is really normal, and this happens with the time too. This is not so in English, but in our language. Sometimes I do really severe mistakes, principally when I'm trying to question something, or when I must try to say something then I didn't know already. Sometimes I do some mistakes, but I see then I don't have some things to become aware about, because I'm a kid. I mean, I'm starting that course, and if I do any mistakes, I say sorry. Or if I question something then exactly don't make sense or whatever, I try to go ahead and try to fix this out, and probably I can use this too, or something then I do some mistakes, I try to go ahead and try again something that I did so not so clearly, and try to fix this too, and this eventually gonna think then we don't repeat. For example, let's suppose then we don't know the present perfect. We question how long people live here. So if we don't know, we don't know the present perfect, we can try to do a question with did. For example, where, how many times did you, or whatever, something near that. But when we know the present perfect, everything's become more easy, because we can question, for example, how long have you living here? So these kinds of things we're going to learn with the time, and one really tips to learn this is go ahead, go training. Another example is my English to improve really my vocabulary. Many people have main how to do that, many formulas and many how to do, but also my family then I usually to improve myself in English and learn more and more and more words is using that thing then I learn to learn one word by each day. Yes, but sometimes I write many words and go ahead, go student to try to memorize the way, and with the time this happened consequently. But so for example, yesterday I write some words in that cut book, and now I'm going to remember where that words was jog, jiggle, joggle. Yeah, these things look like you throw something and you try to pick and do a stunt with it. It's a jolo, jig from music, jiggle, jog from that means of wooden stick, and the other words was about I don't exactly remember, it's something here. Note, note, yes, note. It's a kind of say that. For example, when you say hi to for someone, you say the note. What more? I think that's it. There's main words that I didn't know already. Like daydream, the kind of daydream. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a daydream as well. And eventually, this can be happening. We're gonna to learning new things eventually, and this one thing then really happen with the time. And it's hard to learn a language really fast because we must do mistakes, think really many things, and go to some traps, and eventually we're gonna fall for the same traps that we fell before. But also this one thing then we can do already, and we can improve ourselves to do that things. And yeah, some teachers really usually to say to the students usually do that kinds of talk with a mirror or do some presentations and don't become ashamed to do it. But eventually we became ashamed. It's a normal thing about the human become ashamed to do something. So I think then we don't usually have the opportunity to become fair for something, and if we see something that can be give a barricade, we can must go ahead, jump in it, and yeah, just keep trying, do more and even more and even more, even more mistakes, and eventually we become free of mistakes as well. And yeah, sometimes it's only sometimes it's only translated the words than we were trying to say. It's become a little bit more not too useful because, for example, let's use my example. I'm living in Brazil, right? You know this already, I think. Let's suppose that I'm trying to question something in English, but I use it the same way than I speak in Portuguese. So when you create some words and it doesn't make any sense. For example, a kind of example of this is question, for example, how old are someone? Yes, how old? Yeah, it's normal to question in English. But if I try to use the same sentence of the Portuguese, will be something near the how many years they have. See, it's something more different and cannot be so useful. And the same thing to answer it. For example, answer it, I'm years old normally, or answer it. For example, I have X, then you eventually happen this, and yeah, we don't have how to fix it. And I mean, we have how to fix it, and it's easy to fix it. You only go ahead and go after your mistake and think sorry and question again. How old are you? I'm years old. So there's one thing that we can fix, and eventually this can be happen, and we don't have to become shame about doing something more relationate, shameless about something, but also eventually this happens. Do what? This happens. And yeah, other thing than useful, I mean, it's a little bit boring, is when we are trying to memorize some words in some language can be used as English too, and you forgot. then you forgot any words, some words. And for example, let's suppose then today you have an English class, and tomorrow you forget today's words. Of course, the English class really focused to some grammar, things like that, yeah. But let's suppose then they teach you one word, and after you forgot. So basically, you must go ahead that kinds of schedule and go after the book and try to research that word again. And yeah, this happened, I think, then without language, because I have a difference between the memories than you have now, memories then you probably can forget. Memories then you probably can forget something. For example, if you go after some lesson and don't exactly your brain don't think that will be necessary more later, and also you can forget that. But also if you keep your contact with that thing, and probably it became really hard to be forgotten. To be forgotten. No, to be forgot. Yes, that's better. You see, at the same time that I'm being try to be as fluent as I can, and eventually did some mistakes. But also these mistakes sometimes I didn't even see I doing it. But also when I can back to it and I can see that, for example, this time I see exactly what mistake the mistake what exactly I did, and I can go ahead, go after that mistake, try to refix it, if I can use this term, and yeah. Sometimes this happens with a completely conversation, so we don't have to get shame about it. At the same time, when we are near and pretend, for example, that I used this example before. Let's suppose they have two people. One is from Brazil and try to learn in English. The other is people who already know English but don't speak the Portuguese. So that time you can go after these people, try to question, see things near that, and some can worry about that if the mistakes don't work, because this can be the only time that you're gonna see these people, and they don't gonna try to laugh about you or something near that before. And yeah, these things then happen, and happens. Eventually, in the life, we have many opportunities to do main things near that, and we're also different things. But we must take that and use that kinds of opportunities, because more later or more yearly, we must go ahead, go to learn that, and eventually this can be more useful. And if we don't exactly do, probably we're gonna go in the future and think about the past and think something near that. For example, we can think about the past and think, why didn't I do that? So I lost a great opportunity to improve my self-language. Yeah, this happens. So it's better to go ahead, do some mistakes, and after it you do mistakes, eventually do mistakes. And it's better to do some mistakes than you became more bad feeling about that, and you think, for example, whoa, why didn't do that? Why? I missed a great opportunity to improve myself. Why? So this one thing then also can be happening, and sometimes I don't know about you, but I think then the feeling about do a mistake, so shame, isn't so horrible as I feel, and for example, miss a great opportunity. Because let's suppose until the people who have main shames to do something become worried about things, and they think, for example, something here, then why I miss this opportunity was a thing, then I can improve my language and I can prove it myself as I can use myself in English to myself. So this is one thing that I think then can be regularly repaired. But if you or someone then try to improve your self-language, miss some opportunities, don't worry, because sometimes eventually these new opportunities can happen and be useful as well, and every time then someone uses these opportunities can be used, and again and again and again. Of course, sometimes some opportunities will take a lot of time to show up, but eventually probably someone gonna happen or something. Yes, eventually this something really normally by logic and everything who try to improve yourself in something, we must do many mistakes and don't have shame to keep talking. One thing that really normally at the other language, for example in English can be used as too, is that people have shame to talk. Shameless to keep the voice. Well, it's a normal thing, but also don't be shamed. I don't have shame for my own voice because I'm doing videos. Sometimes my videos have sometimes I make shame of myself to my voice. I mean the video because then the video charges the voice a little bit electronic. But I think then this in real life is more useful. This can be happen by myself and also at the same time it can improve at myself. And I think then with the time we can get more and we can use that thing and we can hear our self voice, and that's it. Well, this was a video about talking of myself and some things about language. That's it. I hope you liked it. See you in the next video. Bye.